I don't believe in rejection.
So what changes an outfit from boring to exciting?
Good question. Good question. It's a massive personality thing, fragrance, for me. I always go for a fragrance that represents who I am as a person. So I'm the type of person that loves massive thing for me, accessories. I always believe, do you know, I could wear a full outfit from any high street store that costs next to nothing. But I always think if you've got
In expressing yourself, but
Mm.
two, in your personal style?
absolutely, I think a fragrance for me, probably Mr. England back in 2017. I
Right.
always go back to that. It's something that would give me it was a stepping stone, really. It was.
Would you have any tips how to overcome that and how to become a confident person? Hi everyone, and welcome to Luxury's and channel. Today we're talking with Brad Christian Hopper about acting, style, and confidence, right? So thanks a lot for hopping on our channel. And can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, so I've been acting, well, originally started out modeling probably around 8 years ago. Through that, moved into acting quite naturally, really. And to this day, we're still moving. We're still working hard to progress.
So what inspired you to actually become an actor, not someone else?
I genuinely believe that everyone has something in life. Some may find it, some may not. You know, a skill, a talent that allows you to excel as a person. It brings the best out in you, and I feel like it's always been acting for me.
And so what was like some of the biggest challenges when you were first starting out, or maybe like during your career?
As I think anyone who started out in the career in this industry at the start, it's a case of you're not really recognized, so you have to build up that level of who you are. That comes with time in terms of building like the show reels, getting on sets, getting lines, and then getting your face out there. So that is something that has been a little bit of a struggle. Like I think anyone would probably find it.
And then on
in
the
any industry, really.
opposite side, what was some of your highlights, maybe, or best moments?
Probably Mr. England back in 2017.
Right.
I always go back to that. It's something that would give me it was a stepping stone, really. It was a platform for when I'd done that. Off the back of it came a lot of work, a lot of recognition, not just here in the UK but around the world, and that was something that really brought many opportunities after and beyond that. So that was a big thing for me. Yeah.
And then when you were starting out or just during your career, who was your inspiration, your role model?
Probably me dad. I've said a few times before. He, just based on what he goes through, kind of gives me that motivation to get my head down and work hard. It's something that I love. I love to do within the industry. My favorite actor, in terms of how diverse he is, just the roles that he's played, is Tom Hardy. I think he's such a fantastic actor from what I can see. So yeah, they're my two
Those two,
biggest
Dad and Tom Hardy on the
influences,
same
if you
level.
like.
I think that's very
So-
building for your dad.
Yeah, they've never met. They've never met, but yeah, one's very personal, as you can imagine, a very much a personal interest, and the other one is someone that I kind of love to see perform, act as an artist.
And then confidence. It's a huge part of actor's life. How did you build your confidence, or was it something that you were born with, or?
Never really been a confident person, if I'm honest. I found it unknowingly through modeling originally. Even when I can remember the first time I got in front of the camera, and I was just nervous as hell, as you can imagine. And when you look back and you look at work then and work now, you can see how much more relaxed and confident I am in front of the camera. The confidence thing again comes from something that I feel like you're good at. You feel like you're confident at something that you feels comfortable. So it's like anybody. Some people cannot have much confidence, but they can be confident doing a certain thing, whether it's the job, whatever. So that for me is where the confidence comes from. Just being in front of that camera gives me such elation, and it's a bit of a personal story for me, the camera side of it. So yeah, I think that's what, find something that you love, that you feel comfortable in doing, you feel like you're good at, and I think that confidence is just.
And for our viewers who might not be as confident as you, not born confident people, would you have any tips how to overcome that and how to become a confident person?
Again, if you're good at something and you know you are, act like you are, act like you're good at it, because if you know it, it's going to come across to other people if you're acting like you're good at it, if that makes sense. And I don't use the
fake it till you make it.
No, because I think some people are really confident in what they do, but they don't show it through their personality. They just kind of crack on silently in the background. But I think if you give that energy off, that aura, it shows to other people how confident you are. So it's more of an attraction, if you like. People would come to you. Say, for example, you were working in a shop, a fragrance shop, for example, and you might know everything about everything. But if you don't show that you know everything, and you kind of hold yourself back and you're a little bit timid and reserved, people are going to, and there's somebody else who's more outgoing and approaches you, they're probably going to more than likely go to that person as opposed to you.
So just not be scared of showing what you know. And
yeah, if you're really, if you're confident in it, show that confidence in what you believe you're.
And then in acting, you can face a lot of criticism, rejection. How do you deal with that? Is it something easy? Was it easy for you, or did you struggle a little bit, or how does that work?
I don't believe in rejection. I think this industry is such a difficult industry. It's always going to be a case of, or for example, if you're getting casted for something, is that who they're looking for at that moment in time? I wouldn't say it's rejection, because they might love your audition tape, for example, but you don't quite fit the narrative of character that they're looking for. So that side of things, I don't believe in it. Or obviously, I've had knockbacks, I've had ups and downs, I've had times where I felt like this role is perfect for me, and I'm not getting it, which is fine. And it can be a bit of a disheartener, but it's how you come back from that. And that to me is something that I've always found, that with rejection, if you like, or being knocked back, it's something that spurred me on to keep going. Because it's easy just to give up and think, oh, this is not going to work. But yeah, that is something that I now understand a lot more than I used to, in terms of knowing that you're not going to fit the bill for every role.
So you try to give it a go, but then if it's the perfect fit, maybe someone was just closer to that. It doesn't mean that you're bad.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I don't think it's a case of being bad, because I wouldn't be in the industry and doing what I have done and what I still aspire to do. It's just a case of, are you right for that, for a specific role?
And then going back to confidence, do you have any routine, self-care routine to maintain that, clean mind, healthy balance of life and work, and dealing with all of the obstacles in work, but not only?
Stay focused. I think if you've got too much going on at once, it can be a bit of a distraction, and that can, going back to confidence, I feel like if I was doing 4 or 5 different things, you might be confident in a particular area, but you're trying to also juggle with other areas, so it hinders you slightly towards giving your full focus and attention on that one area of interest, which is why I've been a victim of that in the past, and now I kind of see more what matters more to me now.
So you have a tunnel vision towards your goal, and then...
Absolutely. My full focus is on going back to what we said about confidence and a skill, which is the industry that I'm in, acting as an artist and then as a performer.
And do you have any daily routines or rituals, both physically and mentally, to keep you in shape?
Yes, something that I learned a long time ago when I was at university. So I do a lot of it's just like a self-care therapy, mental therapy, cognitive behavioral therapy that I use, imagery, that type of thing, visualization, positive self-talk. And in terms of Probably get up in the morning and just, do you know what? I embrace who I am. I don't look at myself and compare myself to anyone. I think it's possibly one of the worst things you can do. You've just got to be who you are.
Mm-hmm.
I think the second you start, there's so much influence out there, whether it be positive or negative, and it's easy to follow. I'm very much a wolf,
Mm-hmm.
and I always have been. So yeah, just be yourself. Brush your teeth on the morning when you get out of bed.
It's good. I'm glad that you maintain that
Yeah, I'm
routine.
saying that. And yeah, just the usual things. I don't really do anything too extravagant. I just wake up, have some breakfast, brush my teeth, splash my face with cold water.
Right. So you don't have any crazy routines of waking up at 4 o'clock
No,
and
no,
starting with 5 hours of working out. And
no.
yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah, the gym is something that is a big part of again, as a coping mechanism. It's something that I found comfort in terms of being able to deal with things mentally. Although there's other things like being in front of the camera, that's a big thing for me. So keeping myself in a physical condition is just part and parcel of how I think you should be looked at in this industry,
So
because you're a role model, aren't you, essentially? And it's not a big-headed, naive thing. It's just simply kind of looking at myself in the mirror, and if you like, and think, well, how do I want people to see me?
Mhm.
How would I want to see a performer,
Mhm.
if you like?
And you just mentioned that part of your like mental health routine is being in front of the camera.
Hmm.
Is so
Hmm.
how does that help you?
Something that I actually found out that I didn't realize way back when. So when
Mhm.
I first started modeling, it kind of came from there. I found a comfort of being able to express almost how I feel. So I've always struggled dealing with emotions in terms of, how I feel inside and being able to express them.
Mhm.
So initially, when I first started modeling, the camera allowed me to be able to express those feelings to the camera from a visual aspect. And I think it became a big thing with obviously an audience, because a lot of people who follow my work have always said the same thing. How powerful the images come across, the emotions that you give. And then the next step to that was acting. So I was able to do it in more than just a static photograph, but I was able to do it in real time. And I've done roles before where it's kind of, people are watching it and thinking, oh, he's acting a role. But it's actually been an experience from my life that I've already gone through. And then I portray that to the camera. So there's elements of it that is real life. And that
Mhm.
allows me just to kind of like,
So you're
goddamn,
embracing the character with a bit of your life story, and then
absolutely, yeah. So it's
it's
not,
actually real. It's
mhm,
not only acting. It's not
yeah.
only you're acting out, but it's yeah. Okay.
Obviously, elements of it is, you have to, when you get a script, you have to, rehearse and learn the lines, and depending on how you want it to be performed. But in terms of the emotions that you see, very much real and true to life.
And then as going to your expressing yourself, I would like to talk a little bit about your style because I do enjoy your style. I think it's quite characteristic. And then, what is your style?
It's a good question. I don't really follow trends. I kind of go with what I'm comfortable in, to be quite honest. My style is just relaxed, I would say, comfortable, just different. I think I just like to wear. I sometimes just put, as I sometimes just put an outfit together, a concoction, and just go with it. And I think, does it look all right?
And
Yeah, it looks cool. Yeah,
for
okay,
our
cool.
viewers who um, don't have their own unique style, how do you find your style? How do you build a wardrobe that is aligned with your yourself,
Hmm.
but also look good and comfortable as well?
Again, it's something that I didn't find early on in life. It's probably only been the last 4 or 5 years where I just experimented. I think experimenting with styles, and then you kind of get a feel yourself when you put something on your back. This is me. Do you know what I mean? This, you just kind of know. I think we had a quick talk before, didn't we, in terms of style? And I think everyone's gone through periods of life where, I mean, do you dress now how you used to dress.
No, absolutely not.
And that's the same as me. So
Uh-huh.
I think it's just find something that when you put it on, you know, you just think, I feel comfortable, I feel good. And respect's another big thing. I'm a big believer in what you wear in terms of respect as well. So yeah, they would be my key things.
And then you mentioned that you don't follow trends, but are there any trends that you avoid?
A victim of being so years ago I used to wear a lot of like tight fit clothes, skin tight clothes, and then when you look back, I almost can't look. I just think avoid kind of skin tight clothes. It when you're yeah, it doesn't work. That might have been an old style trend. I don't think it's something you see as often now.
Mm-hmm.
More mainly with gyms, you know, gym goers and what have you. But in everyday life, I think a lot of people are kind of
Went away from that,
avoiding,
yeah.
worked away from that, and I'm definitely one of them people. So avoid that for sure.
And what would you say is so what changes an outfit from boring to exciting?
Good question. Good question. Boring to exciting. I think colour's a big thing. I've been known to wear a pink suit or two.
Right.
But again, it's not to always, oh, I want to be, you know, the person that everyone looks at type of thing. It just experimenting and what feels right and comfortable.
And how about accessories? Do they help or
Massive thing for me, accessories. I always believe, you know, I could wear a full outfit from any high street store that costs next to nothing.
Mhm.
But I always think if you've got a nice watch, a nice belt, a nice pair of shoes, you know, going down the designer route, you can't go wrong because it always just the first thing most people are going to look at on you is like, oh, your nice watch, or that belt's nice, or them shoes.
Mhm.
So they're drawn to that anyway. I think style just comes together from that. So I would always say a nice watch, a belt, and a nice pair of
those are
trainers.
the must-haves that you should invest a little bit in?
Yeah, absolutely.
Because they will stand out.
I would invest more in
Mhm.
accessorized items, footwear,
Mhm.
than I would in my everyday clothing.
Mhm. And as we're on a perfume channel, would you say perfumes are important in expressing yourself, but two in your personal style?
Absolutely. I think a fragrance for me is something that I've always been known for. I remember previous jobs that I've been in, and in retail, for example, and every time I used to walk in, I'd get people going, God, you can smell it a mile off. They wouldn't even say, is Brad in? You could smell Brad was in the building. It's a massive personality thing, fragrance, for me. I always go for a fragrance that represents who I am as a person. So I'm the type of person that loves the countryside, that loves kind of going on like I love going into the country and just sitting in a car looking at the skies, quite dark, musky. That's my vibe. So I wear fragrances like that. So that's a big part of, I think, who you are.
Mhm. And it also helps you with confidence, isn't it? Because like if you smell good and like people are noticing, it's part of that like that aura that you want to, like what you mentioned before, that aura that you want to project to other people.
Yeah.
So showing the part of yourself that you want to be and want to be perceived as, right?
Absolutely. And I think you can probably walk past someone and instantly like, he likes the beach. Do you know what I mean? Or like you're totally right. It does. It's in terms of confidence. For me, I feel like if I smell good, I feel good.
Mhm.
On top of not just what you're wearing, I think having a nice scent, something that again people can relate to.
Mhm.
People might not even need to talk to you; they can just walk past you and smell you and go and understand a little bit about what his personality is like.
And do you wear different perfumes depending on the occasion or like type of the day during like different seasons, or do you have like just one go-to perfume and you just use that every day, or do you change that? Do you switch
No, I
them up?
do change it. Yeah, I do change it. It all tends to be similar scents, but I do have different fragrances for different events.
Mhm. So if you were to go on a date, what would be your go-to fragrance?
In terms of brands or in terms of what smells, I
Both?
don't. I'm a big fan of Tom Ford. I
Mhm.
like Tom Ford. Tom Ford Cherry is lovely. Something like that, I think, will probably be appealing to me. But again, it's like very much like a musky, spicy smell,
Mhm. But today you
woody.
also have this type of like darker, spicy
Mm.
fragrance. What is it?
So this one is actually luxury scent.
Huh?
So I've got that one on. So that was the team here, made that especially for me for
Nice.
my birthday. So that
So
was a
what do you mean that they did it for you?
nice,
So
nice touch.
uh-huh.
So that they all the oils were mixed based on what fragrances I liked.
Mhm.
So I was asked what fragrances I like, and they mixed it together, gave us a test, and I knew straight away it was just
That's it. Uh-huh. So it's nice that
shining.
to have like, especially as an actor, something like signature, something that
Yeah.
you won't find like exactly that you won't find anywhere else.
Do you know what's funny about that as well? Is many years ago when I was younger, I always had a real eye for business and design,
Mhm.
and I always said I would love to bring out my own like my own signature fragrance. And now I'm never getting around to doing that. And having that one made for me was like the first time I've ever had something that's been personalized
Mhm.
to my personality. Obviously, you go out in shops and you smell fragrances and you go, oh, I really like it, but maybe there's something missing. You know, it's got that woody aspect, but hasn't got that spice in terms of me, or it's got that spice, hasn't got that musk. And that sometimes it's hard to get all of that together unless it's made for you. So I think it's something that I would still love to do one day. Absolutely, is have my own fragrance like as a signature, and because I still feel like the fragrance that I love isn't out there. And I feel like I want every man to experience it, or if it was a unisex, every man and woman to smell.
For our audience, if someone's new to style, accessories, and perfumes, would you have any tips to like, okay, how do I find that? Because how do I find that fragrance that I enjoy, that profile of perfumes that I enjoy? And you would say it's a bit of like testing, or is it a little bit of thinking how do you want to be perceived by others, and then choosing the scent that direction? How would you go about that?
I would do two ways. There's two things that I've
Mhm.
always believed when it comes to fragrance. And the first thing is, if you smell it and you like it,
Take it.
because you know it's like anything. It's like if you go out and buy an item of clothing, you bought it because you like it. You're gonna wear it. If you go and smell something and you like that smell, buy that smell, because then you've got an idea of other similar smells going down the line. So say you, like I say, go whatever type of scent it is, you can then research online and find others that are similar. Go out and try them. Do you know what I mean? So simply put, if you like the smell of it, buy it. The other thing is what I've already touched on, which is personality. So I think if you are someone that loves visiting the beach, the fresh air, that type of thing, then you'd probably go for something that's a bit more like fresher smelling, maybe it's a bit more probably citrusy, that type of thing. Something that's a bit more represents that
Mhm.
side of thing. But if you're more like me, who loves
Mhm.
the countryside, the smell of the trees, you know,
Mhm.
that all that type of thing, maybe something a bit more, you know, musky. But and the reason why I say that is because I can actually relate that because of my personality and what I enjoy doing outside
Mhm.
of work and life, are the type of smells that I like.
So that can be reflected
So
in.
I can actually back that up. So then the two main things, and don't overcomplicate it. I think as well.
Mhm.
Some people are like, I've been in I've been in shops before, and people have been walking around with 10 different tester pieces,
Mhm.
and they're just like, I'm thinking, you're never gonna. It's gonna take you a week before you even. Do you
Yeah.
know what I mean? I think just keep it easy, and just mainly something that represents your personality. You know,
Mhm.
write down what you enjoy doing in life, and then relate sense to that.
Mhm.
I think, and then maybe try a scent that has them in.
Them knows the
Yeah, them,
particles.
yeah.
Uh-huh. And then on a final note, would you like to share any tips with our viewers about like anything about style, acting, confidence, perfumes?
Be you is the biggest thing, and do everything with personality, because that's the one thing that for many years I never realized. I was always kind of someone that was very much in a shell and never really knew how to get out of that shell. So it wasn't until I kind of, like I've just said, associated personality more to style, to fragrance. That was a big thing. And then again, with the confidence side of it, it's just what you're good at. Just even if you don't feel like you're confident enough to show other people that, act it, act confident. Excuse the pun in terms of acting, but just act like you are confident because you already know what you're talking about. So people are gonna relate straight away. That energy is just gonna vibe every time.
And for our viewers who would like to follow you, where they can see your, upcoming projects, recent projects, where they can follow you, learn about you, and even on social media, how they can connect with you.
So my Instagram is at the Brad Hopper. That's my main platform in terms of projects, all the work that I post out there. I'm sure Peter will put that in there.
I will add it to the link. I will add that to the bio.
To the link somewhere. That's my main platform that I do use. So yeah, if anyone's interested or just wants to hit me up, ask me any questions, by all means, that's my Instagram. That'll be the best place.
Amazing. Thank you so much for the interview and being with us.
My pleasure.